You wake up because somebody is screaming. At first, you think you're dreaming. Then the smell hits you. Smoke. Thick enough to burn your throat before your eyes even open properly. You cough hard and push yourself upright, confused, disoriented, your heart already racing for reasons your brain hasn't caught up to yet. The room around you is tiny. Wooden walls. Cold air leaking through cracks. Somewhere outside, people are running. You hear another scream. Closer this time. Then comes the sound of horses. Fast. Panicked. And suddenly, something crashes outside your house. You rush toward the window and freeze instantly. Your village is burning. Flames climb across rooftops while terrified families sprint through muddy streets carrying children, bags, blankets, anything they can save in time. At the far end of the village, huge men holding axes move through the smoke like shadows. Vikings. One of them kicks open a door while another throws a torch onto a rooftop already collapsing in flames. And standing there watching all of it happen, you realize something horrifying. For most of human history, death wasn't rare. It was everywhere. You could survive childhood only to starve at 20. You could survive war only to die from a tooth infection. You could survive winter only to drink dirty water and never wake up again. And if you had been born in almost any other time period, your death probably would have been brutal. The screen cuts to black. How you would likely die in every time period. A deep cinematic boom echoes softly. Then silence. Cold wind begins blowing. And slowly, the darkness fades into endless snow-covered wilderness. 10,000 BC. The Stone Age. Your stomach hurts so badly it feels hollow. Not sharp pain anymore. Just emptiness. The kind that makes your entire body weak. You step outside the cave and immediately feel freezing air cut across your skin. Snow stretches endlessly across the wilderness while smoke rises weakly behind you from the dying fire inside the cave. Nobody in your tribe has eaten properly in days. A child inside has been crying all night from hunger. An older man hasn't moved since yesterday. And today, whether people survive or not depends entirely on one thing. The hunt. A hunter walks toward you and silently places a spear into your hands. The tip is nothing more than sharpened stone tied to wood with animal tendon. Primitive. Fragile. But it's all you have. The hunting group moves quietly through the forest while snow crunches beneath your feet. Nobody wastes energy talking. Every breath burns your lungs. Hours pass. Then suddenly, the man ahead raises his hand. Everyone stops instantly. Fresh tracks in the snow. Huge ones. Your pulse quickens. Slowly, carefully, the hunters spread apart between the trees until finally, you see it. A mammoth. Massive enough to make you feel small just looking at it. Then somebody throws the first spear. Everything goes wrong immediately. That's what made ancient life terrifying. You didn't need war to die. You didn't need violence. Sometimes all it took was a bad fever. Or dirty water. Or one infected wound. A child nearby coughs weakly while holding a small piece of bread. Another sits silently in the dirt with a swollen stomach from malnutrition. Then suddenly, someone collapses near the fire. People jump backward immediately. The man's body starts shaking violently while foam drips from the corner of his mouth. Nobody knows what caused it. Heatstroke. Disease. Poisoned water. In ancient history, people often died without ever understanding why. And honestly, that may have been the scariest part. The camera slowly rises toward the giant pyramid glowing beneath orange sunset light. Millions of people spent their entire lives building monuments they would never enjoy. And most of them were forgotten almost immediately after they died. The screen fades slowly into darkness. Then comes noise. Crowded streets. Animals. People shouting over each other. 100 AD. Ancient Rome. Ancient Rome smells terrible. That's the first thing you notice. Not the giant buildings. Not the crowded markets. Not the soldiers marching through the streets. It's the smell. Smoke. Rotting garbage. Human waste baking under the heat. The city is massive, loud, crowded beyond belief, and somehow still feels alive every second. Merchants scream over each other trying to sell bread, wine, meat, anything they can. Horses shove through packed streets while dirty water runs along the edges of the road beside your feet. People in the future will call Rome one of the greatest civilizations in history. And they're right. But if you were an ordinary person living here, your life was miserable. You squeeze through crowds toward the apartment building where you live. 6 unstable floors built mostly from cheap wood tower above the narrow street. The staircase creaks beneath every step as people brush past you carrying buckets, food, and sometimes things you don't even want to identify. By the time you reach your room, your lungs already feel heavy from the smoke filling the city. The room itself is tiny. 1 bed. 1 window. Barely enough space to stand comfortably. Outside, someone starts screaming in the street below. You look out the window and see 2 drunk men fighting while a crowd gathers around them like entertainment. Nobody seems surprised. Violence here is normal. Disease is normal. Death is normal. You lie down exhausted, trying to ignore the noise outside. Then you hear it. A crack. Soft at first. Then another. Dust falls from the ceiling. You sit up immediately. People start shouting somewhere below the building. The floor vibrates slightly beneath you, and suddenly smoke begins creeping under your door. Fire. Your heart starts pounding instantly. You rush into the hallway where terrified people are already pushing toward the staircase. Someone falls. Another person screams. Thick smoke fills the air so quickly your eyes start burning almost immediately. You try forcing your way downward with the crowd. Then the staircase collapses. The sound is horrifying. Wood snapping. People screaming. Bodies crashing into darkness below. The entire building shakes violently while flames spread upward faster than anyone can escape. And outside? Rome keeps moving almost normally. That's what makes ancient cities so terrifying. Disasters happened constantly. Buildings collapsed. Fires spread through entire neighborhoods. Dirty water spread deadly diseases through crowded streets. And if you were poor, there was a good chance your death wouldn't be dramatic at all. Just unlucky. The screen slowly darkens beneath rising smoke. Then, church bells begin ringing. The Black Death. The town feels wrong. Too quiet. You walk slowly through muddy streets while cold wind pushes between empty buildings. Shops are closed. Doors remain locked. Even the animals seem quieter now. Then you see the cart. Wooden wheels creaking slowly through the street while bodies lie stacked beneath stained blankets. Some small enough to be children. You immediately look away. But nobody else does. Because people here have started getting used to death. That's the horrifying part. The plague killed so many people, so quickly, that eventually entire towns stopped reacting emotionally to it. Death simply became routine. You pull your coat tighter while trying not to cough. Your throat hurts badly now. So does your chest. Deep down, you already know. You're infected. Inside your home, your mother places a wet cloth against your forehead while avoiding your eyes completely. Not because she's cold. Because she's terrified. The swelling beneath your arm has gotten worse since yesterday. Dark bruises spread across your skin while fever burns through your body hard enough to make the room spin. Outside, church bells continue ringing. Again. And again. And again. Every bell means another death. Another family gone. Another house emptied forever. The Black Death didn't just kill people. It shattered humanity's understanding of reality itself. Nobody knew what caused it. Some blamed poisoned air. Some believed God was punishing humanity. Others blamed outsiders, travelers, strangers. And when fear grows large enough, people become dangerous. Suddenly screaming erupts outside. You force yourself toward the window and see a crowd dragging a terrified man through the street. People accuse him of spreading the plague. He falls into the mud. They keep beating him anyway. Fear has completely consumed the town. Your breathing becomes heavier. Harder. The room feels hotter every minute. Then comes the sound you've been dreading most. The cart stopping outside your house. For a moment, nobody speaks. Your mother quietly starts crying. Because once the cart arrived, people usually didn't leave alive. The screen slowly fades into darkness. Then, factory machines roar to life. London. The Industrial Revolution. Smoke covers the entire city. Massive factory buildings tower over crowded streets while thousands of exhausted workers move through the darkness before sunrise even begins. You're 12 years old. And you already work 16 hours a day. Your hands hurt constantly now, but you stopped complaining months ago because everyone around you works just as hard. Children. Women. Old men barely able to walk. Factories don't care. As long as your body can move. You work. Inside the textile mill, the noise is deafening. Giant machines slam and spin endlessly while thick dust fills the air around you. Workers cough constantly, but nobody stops long enough to rest. You move carefully between machines carrying thread with exhausted eyes. Then suddenly, someone screams. A young boy nearby slips for 1 second. That's all it takes. The machine catches his sleeve instantly. People yell. The boy tries pulling away. Too late. The sound that follows makes everyone freeze. Managers rush over while workers stare silently in horror. And within minutes, the machines start running again. Because during the Industrial Revolution, factories killed people constantly. Unsafe conditions. Deadly air pollution. Child labor. Exhaustion. You could lose your arm to a machine. Or slowly destroy your lungs breathing toxic air every day until your body finally gave out. Outside, thick black smoke rises endlessly into the sky while thousands of workers disappear back into the city like ghosts. The modern world was being built. But it was built using human suffering.